Hey guys, Professor Bell, Comic Book University, and Star Trek Boldly Go, issue number 7. Now, this is one of those comics where you get to read it and you say, man, this is so close to real life, just, so far in the future, that it makes me feel bad about the idea that we really just don't have any hope. All the problems that we have in the United Nations and things like that, of people across imaginary borders and natural land masses, and this side of the river is yours, this side of the river is mine, and all that nonsense like that, yeah, that's just going to continue happening when we meet other alien species sometime in the future. Yes, I'm very hopeful. Anyway, so this is exactly what we see in this comic. And straight off the bat, Jaylah is back. Yes, I know it's highly improbable that she would ever be back, but the way they do it is that she's in Starfleet Academy still learning stuff. So, the red uniform, she wants more pockets in the uniform. It's not very practical. It's all good, man. Go back to the 90s issues of comic books like Cable and Wildstorm and all them. You'll have plenty of pouches. So I'm very, very happy to see that Jaylah is back. Love her, loved the actress, loved the costume design. Totally robbed out of that Oscar for best costume makeup stuff. Okay, so anyway, they're basically having a delegation where all these different species, including the Romulans, are showing up and trying to debate what are we going to do about these Borg. And Captain Terrell gives his version of what happened, and he was actually inhabited by the collective, and he was in the hive mind and everything. So he's first class giving this example, all these examples and whatnot. And man, at this point, I'm kind of hoping that we're going to see Locutus, Captain Picard, showing up one of these days soon. That I don't know about soon, but man, wouldn't that be great? So anyway, Terrell is now like the head guy to speak about this stuff, and still nobody's really listening to him too much. Perhaps there's still a way. No, I'm telling you, there is no way. Look, one thing leads to another, and eventually the Romulans wind up getting into it with the rest of the Federation, and then there's one Romulan who seems to be cool. He actually winds up dying from poison, local to Andorian natives, and like just all sorts of really wicked stuff going on, and everybody blaming each other, and just, wow. It's a little bit out of control, and it makes me sad. It genuinely makes me sad. Well, the young Andorian Chev is actually blamed for this by the Romulans, and they say, you're going to turn him over within the hour. And the rest of Starfleet, even though like, okay, there's no evidence that, or at least you're not providing us the evidence of why you think that he did this, they're really totalitarian. And they're like, you know what, if you're not going to do that, then consider us at war. And just, you know what, man, like really, is that how we actually need to do this? Okay, whatever. So a ship flies off at like warp speed, and they're out. They're gone. And the Endeavor, that's the ship that Captain Kirk is in charge of now, flies off to try and capture it. But when they finally catch up to it, it's unmanned. So all the escape pods have been launched in the asteroid field, they're assuming. So they're going to try and figure out what's going on here. Maybe the ship's going to self-destruct. I don't know. That's what I'm guessing. But either way, I think they would have already done that. Okay, but the point is that they have to go back and try and find these people. Now, this comic, I'm going to give this comic in and of itself an A-. I really enjoyed what's going on here, and it set up something amazing because we get to see all this strife and, are the Romulans actually going to be at peace, or is it going to get worse? Is it just going to stay the same? Who knows? Now, my personal speculation is that it was actually Commander Valis, because she shows up and she's like, hey, remember she was taken very early on, I think issue 6 or issue 5, whatever, where they finally figured out the Borg situation, and the Romulans said, you're going to give her back. She was the first mate under Kirk, and she was asked to join the secret Mossad version of the organization of the Romulans. So she's there to give her formal resignation. And I think that she poisoned him. That's just my opinion, because that's what these secret organizations usually do. At the end, Jaylah frees Chev, and we're going to see what happens with that. In the meantime, this comic, issue number 8, could actually go either way. This comic is 7, but issue number 8, the next issue, could actually go either way. They can either just end this by, finding, the bad guy and all that good stuff, or they can continue it and more problems seem to happen. And eventually MacGuffins start showing up, and they have to go in multiple places at more than one time, and just each one of these comics could be in and of itself a part of a giant movie, because they're really just that well laid out, that well done. And I'm hoping that this turns into a big overarching story that really engages the audience, because yeah, IDW kind of needs that right now. Anyway, guys, Professor Bell, Comic Book University, class dismissed.